Welcome back. A two-day monthly youth conference kicks off in the Upper Egyptian city of Aswan on Friday. This month's youth conference will tackle challenges facing Upper Egypt, including ways to develop the economy and tourism. It will also focus on social and political empowerment among youth. And joining us in the studio to shed more light on that topic and more is the economic expert, Mr. Raof. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Well, sir, first of all, talking about these conferences, actually, or the conference of the youth taking place now on monthly basis, how important it is just to address directly the youth and talk to them directly without having any intermediate channels in between?
There shouldn't be any intermediate channels. I mean, the future is the
one-to-one.
Yes. Future, actually, it's not ours. So they have to be involved and they have to participate in whatever the future of the country will be. They are the ones that will live this future. And of course, they have to be always involved in anything concerning what is going to happen to our country in the following years. So this
to be aware of the challenges we are facing,
of course. I mean, they will rule in 10, 15, 20 years. These are going to be our future leaders, so they have to be knowledgeable of what is happening and take part of the policy that will govern in years to come.
Yes. Mr. Farouk Gaafar, I'd like to ask you also about how do you see the output? What we should discuss with the youth there? What type of topics?
It's about time we looked seriously to Upper Egypt. I mean, we had the first conference in Sharm el-Sheikh a few weeks ago, and this is a good practice. I mean, to have regular meetings with the youth, put them in the picture of what's happening, and of course, involving them and taking their opinions of what in drawing the policy of the future. But I think that Upper Egypt has been marginalized and has been, if I may say, ignored and neglected for decades. So it's about time that we give a serious look at this part of Egypt and try to develop it in the right direction.
Well, actually, just as you mentioned, the nature of Sharm el-Sheikh is completely different from the nature of Upper Egypt. So when it comes to investments or any projects taking place in the Red Sea, it will be different from what we are talking about in Upper Egypt. And maybe the chance for the small and medium enterprises will be more actually for Upper Egypt, because this will support and help a lot. And recently we have seen Dr. Sahar Nasri and many efforts exerted in respect of the small and medium enterprises. So from your own point of view, how can we work on this, and what kind of projects we can provide for our youth to just utilize their resources in this area?
Well, I mean, this goes long before Minister Sahar Nasr. I mean, the World Bank has gave us, I think, around 300 million back in 2013, and then followed by another 500 million. All directed to Upper Egypt for the decentralization and for the development and what have you. So it has been going on still. The Upper Egypt is full of resources.
Potentialities as well,
of course, yes. And we don't lack manpower. The problem is poverty and ignorance, and these are the two problems that have to be faced very promptly and very seriously. And in my opinion, we have to use the available resources in this part of Egypt and concentrate our development on the resources available in this area. Yes. And of course, on the involvement and the job creation for particularly the youth.
Now, what are the main challenges facing the youth in terms of empowerment from your point of view, sir?
Well, the normal challenges. I mean, the illiteracy is a big problem. Poverty is another. So we have to direct our major effort to education, to training, and of course this will solve a lot of the youth problem. Polarization will be minimized, of course, and then their maybe convictions will change, and we have to increase their awareness of their important role in the future of our country.
What kind of projects we can use or work on when it comes to Upper Egypt? From your own point of view,
Yes,
I
of
know.
course. First of all, tourism. Tourism, I mean, you know, Upper Egypt is one of the richest places in the whole world, with the old monuments and history and God knows what lies beneath. But anyway, what is there? So the tourism is one major thing we have to concentrate on. The second thing is that this area is very rich with minerals, with natural resources, and I think that maybe we heard lately of the famous Golden Triangle, starting with the Red Sea, from Mars Alam up to Safaga and Usair, and going all the way to Inna. And this triangle is full of, I mean, there are gold mines, there are phosphate mines, and this can be developed into very important industrial and mining area. And we have again seen a lot of infrastructure projects going on, railways, roads linking ports to the Nile Valley, and this should have a very big impact on the development of this area, and of course the development of Upper Egypt.
Yes, indeed, and that would require, I guess, sir, also the increase or stressing on vocational training and the creation of a labor force, because unfortunately in Egypt, among our youth, the vocational works and jobs, vocational jobs, are looked down upon. So how can we promote such jobs among the youth?
Well, increase the awareness of the importance of technical education. We have to concentrate on that and try to not convince, but at least to make the youth understand that it's not only a university degree that will open the doors for employment, but rather technical training and knowledge. This is the real door to the future of this area. So it has to be, we have to establish more technical institutes, technical schools, and again by starting to develop whether mining or industries or what have you, then we can establish schools to educate the youth towards what is needed as far as specializations in the different industries, and that will be established there.
Well, of course, talking about the youth attending actually this conference, and we have many others. And when it comes to some of the economic and political life, we know that we have many young people who are angry, and they do not feel that they are part of the society, for example. So how can we work on these people, and how can those who attended the conference be the ambassadors to be part of the others, and to show them the way, to talk to them, to give them an idea about all the challenges we are facing, because we cannot confront such challenges alone?
I tell you, youth, unfortunately, have been sort of ignored over the last years. And we're all surprised when it comes to, for example, elections or referendums for constitution. You find that the elderly the attendance of the elderly is much more than the attendance of the youth, which is completely understandable. Because
But it looks like it is a phenomenon, because this happened in different countries in the United States.
And this is, we cannot
and they
understand.
used to complain and they used to criticize us for this. Now it is.
Well, it's everywhere, but it's not conceivable.
So is it a phenomenon that the youth everywhere, they are not interested, or what?
They are not made interested, but they should be, because, I mean, I am an old man and I vote for a constitution that I will not live to see applied. But they will...
But you care about your children and
I care
grandson.
about my children, but they should care about themselves more. And this is something that needs awareness. And I think that such conferences, and if done on regular basis, which I'm sure they will increase the awareness of the young people and the youth that the future is theirs. The country belongs to them more than it belongs to the elderly. So it will come, but we can expect after so many years of ignorance and marginalization to have this attitude from them. But again, they will know that it is their country more than it is the country of more senior people. So it will come, and as you rightly said, the youth attending such conferences will have the responsibility of spreading this awareness among their colleagues and friends. And
well, you've been talking about the political empowerment of youth. Now, actually, for youth to take part in as representative, like whether in our parliament or even in some of the municipalities or governors, that needs most of the things that needs campaigning. It needs a lot of money, in a sense. So do we need to support them, sponsor them? Do we need to work in addition on working on their skills? How can we choose the good calibers?
Well, I mean, this is all a big process. It has to be done integrally. I mean, we have to educate them politically from day one through their parties. If I'm sorry to say that political parties are still not very active, but they have to indulge in political life and be trained on the political level. This is from one side. From the other side, they have to be involved. I mean, we've seen this happening the last couple of years, having deputy ministers or maybe assistants to ministers in executive positions. A lot of youth have been employed. So this again is one step on the way, and it will come. Training is very important, both, as you said, on their vocational training, political training. This is very important to prepare them to handle their responsibility in the very near future. So this is important, not only in ministries, but only, again, in municipalities, in local councils.
The civil society as well has a responsibility.
Civil societies, of course.
But sir, talking, because you mentioned education, and in the past and still, of course, up till now, in the private and international schools, we see the idea of the models. The model of the UN, the model of the Arab League, the small parliament, a lot of things actually. And this is something of great importance because it gives awareness to the children in the schools about what is going on. Because we are talking about the youth, not only the graduates, but I'm talking also about the new generation, the children in school. So why not we cannot do something like this even in public schools as well? It's not going to cost anything except the awareness of the teachers and giving the chance to the children to express themselves, to understand what is political life.
Sure. Well, I don't want to get into that because this is a very big problem. We already have a problem with education. As far as schools are not enough, the population of classes is over dense. So I mean, we have maybe
but such activities will not cost
I know,
anything.
but I mean, in order to promote such activities, you need to have a reasonable number of students or pupils in a class. But when you have a class of 100, you can't do that. But this will come again with the development and the use of different. I mean, now there is a lot of there are a lot of ways and means to eradicate illiteracy. So you need, first of all, not necessarily regular schools, but at least to teach them how to read and write. And this is very important, especially in Upper Egypt, especially among the girls. So once you do that, then you can reach them more easily. And then you can apply the models, as you rightly said, and make them aware and then again, it's the media. You have to sort of make more programs directed into these areas so that people can watch and learn and participate, actually.
To what extent do you feel that the social media is positively or negatively affecting the youth empowerment and political participation?
Well, I think we give the social media more than it really weighs, because I mean, to use the social media, you have to read and write, and a lot of youth, unfortunately, do not read and write. So social media, in my humble opinion, is only for a certain class of people, and unfortunately, again, in my opinion, it has more negative impact more than the positive impact, because it's a place for rumors. Anybody writes what he wants, and nobody tells him anything, and so it is not. It needs a lot of sort of practice in order to improve the quality of what is written on the social media.
Well, economic expert Mr. Raof Gaafar, thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we will be going out for a quick break, and then we'll be back. So stay with us and stay for more coming up on Breakfast Show.
The Triad of Thebes was composed since the 18th dynasty. It includes god Amun-Ra and goddess Mut as a wife to Amun, and god Khonsu as a son. It's noticeable that the members of this triad were chosen carefully, for the wife Mut choice was meant in particular. Mut here doesn't exist for being just a wife of Amun, but while she plays the role of a wife, we find her name expresses motherhood. This double role of the wife and mother was the essential condition to accomplish the concept of Ka-Mut-Af, or the bull of his mother, where the female deity plays the role of the wife and mother, while the male deity plays the role of the father and the husband and the son. Goddess Mut plays here the same role of Isa or Isis as a mother and wife of god Min. Mut was pictured as a lady wearing a long-tied dress and wears a double crown, and carries the title of Nepti Tawi, the Lady of the Two Lands. Both the double crown and the title of the Lady of the Two Lands symbolize the role of the wife and mother played by goddess Mut. All this confirms that Mut was qualified to play the role of the wife and mother of the god of fertility. It's concluded that god Amun-Ra has joined between two great divinities through the universal role related to him. They are the divinity of the sun and the royal mastership, which he had acquired by his merge with god Ra, and the divinity of fertility and the universal mastership, which he acquired from god Min, which qualified him to master the universe. The practical expression of that was done by the festival processions, in which god Ammon went out in 3 main occasions, each of which was connected with the vital role of Ammon in the universe. These occasions are the Feast of the Valley, the Obit, and the festival of the beginning of each 10 days. During these festivals, Ammon joins between the 4 corners of the world, and by connecting the time circle each 10 days, he achieves his role in controlling the universe.
Welcome back, and in this segment we will be talking about an activity that took place at the Maulana Azad Center